The chamber was vast, echoing like a cathedral carved from dark stone, its ceiling opening into a sky of artificial stars. 12 different species sat in tiers spiraling down toward the center, a living amphitheater where the galaxy's future was decided. The air vibrated with voices layered atop one another, insect clicks, metallic groans, guttural growls, crystalline tones. Translation devices hummed under the strain, weaving the cacophony into a single coherent argument, the question of what to do about humanity. Ambassador Zier slammed his crystalline hand against the obsidian table. The sound rang out like shattering glass, silencing the chamber for a heartbeat. His blue scales shimmered with light patterns that, to his people, meant fury. Rising on 4 legs, towering above most of the other delegates, he spat words sharp enough to cut. Enough. We warned them. The humans ignored us. They colonized the stars we marked for ourselves. They mine our belts. They reject our authority. They have no respect for the council. Around him, alien representatives shifted uneasily. Some nodded with their many heads, others made sounds that meant approval in their cultures. The insectoid Zack clicked their mandibles. The Valkyrie scratched the metal plates covering their faces, a gesture that signified anger. At the center, council leader Vexani lifted 2 of her 6 arms. She was the tallest being in the chamber, compound eyes wide enough to see every delegate at once. When she spoke, her voice did not require translation. It flowed in perfect galactic standard, smooth, sharp, impossible to ignore. We are gathered to decide, she said, what must be done about the human problem. Too long they have spread unchecked. They establish colonies on worlds marked for our expansion. They mine asteroids that should fuel our industries. And worst of all, they do so without ever asking permission. Her voice carried the weight of history, millions of years of order and dominance. From the back of the chamber, a low growl rumbled. War leader Craigs of the Mandalorian Empire rose, scarred armor clattering as he stood. His people were legends of war, their empires carved in blood. His single remaining eye burned with contempt. Permission, he spat. Humans take what they please because they stumbled into star travel. My scouts report they are barely past their home system. Their colonies are fragile outposts. Their governments fractured. Their technology primitive. They are weak. They are divided. He conjured a holographic display, Earth, the Moon, Mars, scattered dots of mining outposts. Crude rockets. Cities unprotected by shields. Fleets no larger than patrol craft. One battle group could shatter their defenses in a single day, Craigs declared. Their largest warships are smaller than our supply vessels. They fire projectiles, not plasma. They crawl with chemical rockets while we soar through hyperspace. They are not a threat. They are prey. Some delegates hissed in agreement. Others pounded appendages against the stone. Then, unexpectedly, a softer voice chimed in. Like crystal wind chimes moving through air, the Athetheran delegate spoke. Her kind were the galaxy's pacifists, known more for philosophy than war. Perhaps, she said gently, we should attempt true diplomacy. They are young. Barely 10,000 years of civilization. Maybe they do not understand our laws. Perhaps education is better than destruction. For a moment, the room wavered. A thin hope, fragile as glass, hung in the air. Then Ambassador Zier shattered it. His scales flared from blue to a searing white. Do not speak of diplomacy. We tried. We sent greetings in their primitive tongues. We broadcast the galactic accords. We sent probes carrying gifts. And what did they do? He paused, letting silence bite. They captured our probes. They dismantled our technology. And they sent us back a message, stay out of their territory. Their territory. His voice cracked like stone under pressure. As if a species younger than our libraries has any claim over the stars we have ruled for eons. Ripples of outrage surged through the chamber. To deny the council was unthinkable. To mock its authority, intolerable. Council leader Vexani studied the reports, her compound eyes processing 100 details at once. These images, she asked, gesturing to the holograms of human cities and crewed fleets, how recent are they? 6 months, War Leader Craigs answered proudly. Fresh from our reconnaissance. He did not know that those reconnaissance missions had been seen, and allowed. The humans had shown the galaxy exactly what they wanted them to see, old rockets, fractured governments, defenses of stone and iron. The truth was far different. But the council believed what they wanted to believe. And so, one by one, the votes began. The hegemony, yes. The Mandalorians, yes. The Zak Collective, yes. The Valkyrie Republic, yes. One by one, 11 voices of power, 11 declarations of conquest. When it came to the Ethetherans, their crystalline delegate rose, scattering light across the walls. Her voice was calm, resolute. We will not vote for war, she said. But we will not stop you either. The Ethetherans abstain. The tally was complete, 11 for invasion, 1 abstention, none against. The fate of humanity was sealed. Ambassador Zir's scales flickered with triumph. The fleet will assemble within 1 solar cycle, he announced. War Leader Craigs will lead. Humanity will learn the price of defiance. The chamber erupted with sound, cheers, growls, insect clicks, metallic screeches. A chorus of conquest. Only the Ethetheran remained silent, crystalline body dim in sorrow. Far away, hidden deep in cold space, a listening station hummed quietly. Human technicians leaned over consoles, eyes wide as the alien words scrolled across their monitors. Translation algorithms had broken the council's languages weeks ago. Every vote, every word, every insult had been recorded. By the time the council meeting ended, Admiral Kate Johnson already had the transcript in her hands. The invasion was coming. The trap humanity had spent years preparing was about to be sprung. The galaxy thought Earth was primitive. Divided. Helpless. But humanity had been listening. Watching. Waiting. And when the fleets came, the galaxy would learn the truth. The Armada slipped out of hyperspace like a storm of shadows. Hundreds of warships, their hulls gleaming with the polished arrogance of 1,000 victories, assembled in Earth's skies. From orbit, they looked down at the blue planet, fragile, exposed, unguarded. The aliens saw oceans, clouds, and cities glittering faintly with electric light. To them, it was prey. War Leader Craig stood at the command deck of the Mandalorian dreadnought Iron Fang, his scarred hands curling around the railing. His voice rumbled like stone collapsing. Target their defenses. Cripple their fleets. Break their spirit. Leave survivors to remember who rules the galaxy. Across the fleet, weapons came alive. Plasma cannons hummed. Missiles loaded into chambers. Beams of charged particles began to glow. And yet, from Earth, there was no answer. No defensive shields. No great armada rising to meet them. Just silence. The alien crews laughed in a dozen different tongues. So primitive. So easy. The first volley descended. Beams of light split the sky. A dozen human satellites vaporized. A mining outpost on the moon was torn apart. Flames bloomed in the upper atmosphere. Still, Earth remained silent. On the surface, people looked up, afraid. Cities blacked out as power grids went offline. The illusion was complete, a species overwhelmed, kneeling before superior force. War Leader Craigs grinned, revealing broken fangs. Pathetic. We expected a challenge. But then, something shifted. A flicker on his sensors. A distortion just beyond the asteroid belt. A reading so faint that his technicians dismissed it as noise. Until the noise grew teeth. Dozens of human warships uncloaked, not the fragile craft the aliens expected, but sleek titans of black alloy. Their hulls bore no markings, no flags, only silence. Their weapons charged in unison, synchronized with terrifying precision. One by one, they emerged from hiding. From the asteroid belt. From the far side of the moon. From beneath the ice of Europa. Warships older, larger, and stronger than anything the Council's scouts had ever reported. Craig's single eye widened. What is this? No one answered. The first human salvo struck. Railguns thundered with kinetic fury, their slugs moving at a fraction of light speed. Plasma lances burned through alien shielding as though it were paper. Missiles with shifting, intelligent trajectories wove past defenses and detonated deep inside enemy hulls. The Iron Fang shook as its sister ship disintegrated in a blossom of white fire. Across the armada, alarms screamed in alien tongues. Shields collapsed. Hulls cracked. Craig's roared orders, his warriors scrambling to respond. But the human attack was not random. It was surgical. Calculated. Every strike targeted a command ship, a communications hub, a carrier. Within minutes, the fleet's formation was in chaos. On Earth, Admiral Kate Johnson watched from a subterranean command center, her face calm, her voice steady. They took the bait, she said. Execute Phase 2. From hidden bunkers across the planet, massive rail cannons rose into the skies. Powered by years of silent preparation, they locked onto targets in orbit. With a sound like thunder made of metal, they fired, tungsten rods screaming upward, too fast for alien shields to catch. In the void above, alien cruisers were torn apart, their hulls shredded by projectiles heavier than mountains. The invaders had expected stone spears. Instead, they had walked into a trap of steel. Across the fleet, panic spread. Alien captains screamed into comms. It's impossible. They were primitive. But humanity had never been primitive. Humanity had been patient. For decades, Earth had played the role of the fool. Broken governments, outdated technology, divided nations, all a mask carefully maintained. In secret, the species had unified under a single defense command. In silence, they had built ships in hidden shipyards, cloaked by asteroid shadows. They had studied alien technology, reverse-engineered it, and turned it into weapons sharper than anything the Council had dreamed. And now, in their arrogance, the galaxy had brought its fleet to Earth's doorstep. The trap closed tighter. Craig's bellowed for his dreadnought to retaliate. Plasma cannons fired, beams of white heat slicing across the void. Several human ships exploded, their hulls shattered. Humanity did not win without cost. But every loss was measured, every sacrifice calculated. For each human ship destroyed, 3 alien vessels fell. And still the humans pressed forward. Silent, relentless, like predators who had studied every weakness before striking. From the command deck of her flagship, Admiral Johnson gave no speech, no rallying cry. Only 3 words. Advance. No mercy. Humanity's titans cut through the armada, black silhouettes against the burning skies. Alien dreadnoughts that had conquered 100 worlds were reduced to drifting husks. Carriers that had carried generations of warriors cracked open like eggs. In less than a day, the Council's proud fleet lay in ruin. Hundreds of ships gone. Tens of thousands of alien warriors dead. War leader Craig stood amid the flames of his collapsing bridge. His single eye glared at the human flagship, distant but unyielding. He laughed, a sound broken by blood. So, he whispered, you were never prey. The Iron Fang exploded, and with it the last semblance of order in the invasion. When the smoke cleared, only silence remained. Earth still spun below, scarred but unbroken. Above it, human warships drifted in disciplined formation, watching, waiting, like wolves daring the galaxy to challenge them again. The council had thought the invasion would be a lesson, a warning to the upstart species that had ignored their laws. Instead, the galaxy had been the one to learn. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not divided. Humanity was not prey. Humanity had set the trap, and the galaxy had walked willingly into its jaws. The council chamber, once a monument to authority, had become a theater of silence. Where once there had been jeers, laughter, and contempt, now there was only fear. One by one, the alien delegates replayed the same transmissions, the fall of their armada above Earth. The images haunted them. Human warships, silent and black, carving through fleets that had conquered 100 civilizations. Orbital strikes tearing dreadnoughts apart like toys. Entire carriers vanishing in blossoms of fire. For the first time in living memory, the galaxy had witnessed its greatest powers humbled in open war. Ambassador Zier's crystalline hands trembled. His scales no longer glowed with confidence, but with the dim pallor of dread. "It is impossible," he whispered. "The humans should have been primitive. Divided. Weak." Council leader Vexani said nothing. Her compound eyes, capable of tracking hundreds of details at once, stared only at the recording of Earth's skies, human warships gliding in perfect, predatory formation. "Their technology," she said at last, her voice brittle. "It was hidden. Their unity, concealed. They deceived us." The Mandalorian representative slammed his armored fist against the stone, the sound hollow with desperation. "Deceived? No. They baited us. They used us. They wanted our fleets to come. They wanted to reveal their strength at the moment it would wound us most." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. The Zak clicked their mandibles nervously. The Valkyrie scraped their metallic plates in agitation. Even the Etherians, usually serene, flickered dimly with unease. For 500,000 years, the galaxy had believed itself the master of the stars. Today, that illusion had died. Far from the council chamber, the truth was unfolding. Human fleets no longer stayed cloaked in the asteroid belt. They surged outward, black titans pushing into council territory. Their strategy was cold, clinical, and terrifying. They did not simply destroy fleets. They cut supply lines, dismantled listening posts, sabotaged relay stations. Every step was deliberate. Every strike crippled the council's ability to respond. Wherever human ships appeared, alien forces broke. Entire worlds surrendered before a single shot was fired, their governors broadcasting pleas of mercy into the void. But humanity did not speak. Their fleets advanced in silence, their weapons the only language they offered. On one frontier world, a Valkyrie commander attempted to rally his troops. "We are still the council," he shouted. "We are still the galaxy's guardians." His words carried across 1,000,000 comms. An hour later, his garrison lay in ruins, erased by a single human salvo. The message was clear: humanity had no interest in negotiation. Back in the council chamber, panic spread like fire. "They will not stop at Earth's borders," an insectoid delegate hissed. "They will spread." "They already are," another whispered. "Then we must fight." The Mandalorian roared, though his armor still bore scars from the reports of Earth's slaughter. "And lose everything," came the reply. The council splintered. Some demanded renewed war. Others begged for peace. A few simply stared into silence, realizing peace was no longer theirs to offer. Council leader Vexani raised her arms for quiet. The chamber trembled. "We face a species unlike any before," she said. "Not because of their technology. Not because of their weapons. But because of their patience. They waited. They watched. They endured insult and arrogance. And when they struck, they did so with precision." Her eyes dimmed. "This is not conquest as we know it. This is something colder. Something deeper. Humanity is not fighting for survival. Humanity is reshaping the order of the galaxy itself. Her words settled into silence, heavy as stone. On Earth, Admiral Kate Johnson read the intercepted council debates. Her expression was unreadable. She had no need to gloat, no desire to boast. Humanity's victory was not about pride. It was about survival. For centuries, humanity had lived under the shadow of empires older than its entire history. Now the shadow had lifted. But in its place stood something far greater, the weight of power. Her officers asked her what came next. Would humanity conquer? Would they dominate? Would they repeat the mistakes of the council? She gave no answer. Instead, she turned to the stars, where fleets burned like embers in the dark. The galaxy knows fear, she said quietly. Now it will learn respect. But deep in her voice lingered something unspoken, that humanity's rise was not an ending, but a beginning. That somewhere in the silence of space, beyond even the council's reach, other powers might be watching. Other civilizations might be waiting. And when they came, humanity would be ready. The galaxy trembled. Not because humanity had survived. Not because humanity had fought back. But because humanity had revealed what it truly was, patient, calculating, relentless. A species that could play the fool for decades, only to strike with the precision of a blade. In the long histories of alien empires, there had been countless wars, endless victories, and rivers of blood. But never had they seen a species like this. For the first time in 500,000 years, the galaxy understood a new truth. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was not subject. Humanity was a predator waiting in silence. And the silence had finally broken. Phrases like, humanity versus the galaxy, council shattered, alien fleets destroyed, human counteroffensive, and HFY Sci-Fi story, are naturally repeated for search optimization. The pacing ends with reflection, leaving viewers with a lingering sense of scale and philosophy.